Hi, my bundles of joy. I hope you're doing well. Today's pick. This is INXJOY. I'm a bit low energy today, so apologies for my more somber and more delicate voice. Anyways, today's pick a card reading is on what emotional blocks am I clearing, and there are 3 piles for you today. There's pile 1. Processing grief. There's pile 2, unhooking the past. And there's pile 3, invoking self-realization. Oh, we love butterflies. Yeah. So if you need to take a minute here to pause and meditate on your piles, please do so. Yeah. If not, then I will see you at your pile. Hi, my pile 2s. If you've chosen this card, processing grief, then this is your pile. You, my dears, on the only pile that had 2 cards sticking out. So we are gonna see what emotional blockage that you're clearing at this time. So obviously you have processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. And then you also have transforming tragedy. Loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. Okay. We are going to get some more messages on the specifics of what emotional blockage that you're clearing. Obviously, it has to deal with grief and loss, but I wonder what kind of grief and loss you are dealing with, my dear. Alright, so Divine Source, please use me as a channel to help the collective and give accurate, concise, compassionate messages to those that need at this time. What are my pile 1s clearing as in terms of their emotional blockage? What are my pile 1s clearing in terms of their emotional blockage? Okay. So you start off with the King of Swords, and then you have the Queen of Swords. Then you have 5 of Cups, and then you have Judgment. So in regards to the emotional blockage that you're clearing, it feels like you are incorporating both your feminine and masculine sides, but using the wisdom of the feminine and the grace of the masculine, the transformation of the masculine. Because as you see here, there's an owl attached to the queen, and there's also this cute little butterfly attached to the king. So it feels like you are using the wisdom of this grief to transform into something greater. Obviously, as we've seen in these 2 cards, this thing that you have been grieving from is something that's kept you up at night. It's been ruminating your thoughts, because with this 5 of Cups, it obviously deals with emotions, because cups are the emotional watery side of the tarot. But because she is in the forest amongst the trees, and she's just going over the spilled cups that have happened, so these just remind me of all the times that you felt like you've made a mistake, that you've thought you were like the villain in a scenario, all the times where you felt like you should have done something differently. So it feels like there are regrets that you have had. So in regards to this grief, what are my pile ones grieving over? Thank you. I just want to be a little bit more specific and clear. So you have the Ace of Discs, duality, and then the 10 of Discs. Okay. So in regards to the grief that you've been processing and dealing with, again, the duality card definitely feels like there was some parts of yourself, both masculine and feminine. Obviously, if you are my non-binary pals, shout out to you. What up? Same here. Then this is just a reminder that this is not in the binary. This is only just for conversational purposes that we label them as masculine, feminine, when again we all know that they don't exist that way. So in regards to this duality, it feels like there was a duality between your independence and your home life, like more of a dependent state. It feels like it was either one or the other that you had to deal with in terms of your grief. So it feels like you are grieving a past version of you. This feels more like a past transformation, and you're stepping into a new version of yourself other than what is traditionally known as grief, as a loss of a person. If you are going through a loss of a person, my condolences, my sincerest condolences. And if you're going through a stage or a part of your life where you're reminded of that loss, I am sending you so much hugs and love right now. But this might not be the reading for you. This feels more like a transformational part of the self. It feels like while you might be processing grief with someone else, it also is like a reflection of yourself, of who you used to be and who you are becoming. It feels like you're recognizing that you can be interdependent. It feels like you are having the wisdom of it is great to be yourself and have the freedom of being you, but you recognize that as humans, as animals, we are social creatures, and it is just kind of smart to be able to have relationships and to share yourself with other people and have them share themselves with you. And it feels like you're letting back that sun of warmth, of a feeling of being able to open yourself to others, into having this beautiful home. It feels like you're walking yourself towards this house and you might be settling down at this moment. So you might be in a stage in your life where you are settling down. And it's not like you're losing all aspects of yourself. There are parts of you that have grown and blossomed and bloomed so beautifully. But it feels like you are taking this time now to rest and rejuvenate with others and kind of heal yourself with others. As you can see here, there's two people on the side. There's also 2 people on the side, but it feels more like there's one person with their arms crossed. So it felt like you might have been adverse to relationships in the past or being able to be yourself with others. It felt like you kind of tapped into your moon sign a little bit more. And you might be coming out of a dark night of the soul kind of vibe. That's how it feels. Yeah, it feels like you've taken a lot of time for yourself to really heal a lot of your own wounds, your past. The grief that you're processing now is the emotional blockage that you are clearing right now. You're kind of clearing the old sense of self and you're stepping into this new sense of self. Anyways, I feel like I've said that too much, so we're gonna move forward into the next part of the reading for you, which is, because this reading is interesting because it feels like you're processing it, but you're already in this stage of clearing. It feels like you already recognize this part, but now you are kind of ruminating over the past actions that you might have done, the past things that you might have said, the emotional wounds that might have been inflicted onto you, that you might have inflicted onto others. And you are kind of in this state of judgment where you are kind of able to clear past sense of solitude and recognize how you operate in different realms. And you recognize that you operate not only in the physical, but in the emotional, in the spiritual, in the astral, in the mental. And you're kind of seeing things for what they are. So this 5 of Cups to you is just kind of like is the dark night of the soul period. It feels like it was all the things that you needed to look past and look at in order to understand yourself better. And it really is highlighted by loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. Because it feels like you understand that. You understand the notion of that this loss of your old self is only an aspect of yourself that you've made room for new things to come in. By losing the more independent side, or the more, I guess, binary side of having to do things either one way or the other, it feels like you're recognizing that you can conjoin the aspects of interdependence, of independence and dependency, of being able to do your own thing and also do things with others, you know? It kind of feels like parallel play, if you know that kind of jargon. It feels like you can do your own thing and like do whatever game you want to play, but also hang out with like your partner or your best friend or a family member, and then just them have themselves do their own thing, but you're both sharing in the same energy, in the same room, in the same presence of each other. So what gifts are my pile ones about to receive? You have the 5 of Swords in reverse. What gifts are my pile ones about to receive? You have the 4 of Swords in reverse. What gifts are my pile ones about to receive? And you have the 6 of Swords. Oh, that's interesting. You normally don't get they're all swords. And you don't usually get them in the order of them being so succinctly close together. One moment, let me just move my camera. And me moving my camera feels kind of symbolic to you moving forward in life. Especially with this Six of Swords here. It feels like you're being a lot more careful with your words. You're coming out of this rougher terrain into this more diplomatic, charismatic aspect of yourself. You're stepping out of this Four of Swords. I feel like you enjoyed this part of yourself, though. You enjoyed being alone. You enjoyed kind of meditating and being by yourself. It's kind of like you both enjoyed it, but it was both really hard at the same time. I feel like you liked your alone time, so you might be an introvert, but you also had to like look at some past stuff, and that might have been quite hard. With this Five of Swords in reverse, it feels like you're putting down the sword. It feels like you are coming into a stage of being very open so that other people don't have to hide from you. You see this person hiding? Sorry, maybe I should put it up front. You see this person hiding in the background? It feels like you are no longer being in an era of, dare I say, pride, because this person looks very prideful. It feels like you're really healing a part of your ego, and you are stepping into both understanding the loss of staying in your ego for too long, and recognizing that this loss has made room for a healthier ego to step in, one that incorporates more of a compassionate lens into your toolbox. It feels like, other than seeing the world just from your point of view, you're able to step into other people's point of views and really recognize where they're coming from. And it's not that you're letting it sway you from who you are. You're just recognizing that you can phrase things and say things in a way in which other people take it a lot easier. And you're phrasing it in a way where people can understand you better without feeling like they're walking on eggshells. Okay. I'm just gonna get you a couple of therapet cards to end the reading off, because I love these cards. Yeah, you've probably seen these cards so much, but I love these cards so much. So if I can just have a couple of therapet cards, Divine Source, to end the reading off for my pile ones in regards to the emotional blockage and clearing. It feels like it's just heavily about the throat chakra, about the crown chakra, and about the solar plexus. It's the higher chakras that you're really working with, that you're really processing, that you're really clearing at this time. You have stay soft. The world may be cold, but we don't have to be. That's what I feel like you're stepping back into. And you have, just because you feel like trash doesn't mean you are trash. It feels like this should switch, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. So yeah, what emotional blockage you're clearing is that you're stepping into a phase where you can be yourself and not kind of lash out onto others when you feel bad. It feels like you're in the stage of recognizing that you can emotionally process and handle things by yourself, but still be with others and be compassionate towards others and stay soft in regards to letting people know your boundaries, letting people know how you feel, and still having that stronghold of really honoring yourself, but doing it in a very, very compassionate way, in a way where you choose your words a lot more carefully. Yeah. Okay. That's all I have for you today, my dear pile ones. I hope this reading helped give some clarity, guidance, and some compassionate words in regards to your emotional clearing at this time. I hope you enjoyed and hope you have a great day. Love you lots and take care. Bye. Hi, my pal twos. If you've chosen this Unhooking the Past card, then this is your reading. Alright, so today we're doing a reading on what emotional blockage is clearing, and you have Unhooking the Past. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past. So when it comes to the emotional block that you're clearing, the thematic, resounding message for my collective, for you, my dear pal twos, is that there are things in your past that might be coming up like pages in a story. It feels like there are memories that keep coming up that you're reliving in your head, and you are recognizing and understanding that you're clearing it right now by letting them flow through you. And you're recognizing the lessons that you've learned from these past experiences. So when it comes to my pile twos, what part of their past are they learning from? You have the Knight of Cups. What part of the past are my pile twos learning from? You have the Seven of Discs. What? I have a feeling that I know. Okay. What are? Thank you. And you have the Seven of Swords. This feels like an anxious, avoidant relationship in regards to your past. It feels like you, excuse me, oh my god, you or this other person was this Knight of Cups, okay? And it's gonna resonate for different people in different ways, but you or this or this other person was this Nine of Cups, and what's happening, the story is that this person was wishing upon a shooting star, giving their cup away, and looking for love. It feels like you were in a situationship, because what I'm hearing in my head is the new song We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love by Ariana Grande. And whenever I see this Seven of Discs, it feels like that's what happened. It's like, it feels like you and this person were friends, and the thing is that it was a situationship, so it felt like you couldn't be friends, and you were waiting for this person to come in, because the Seven of Discs usually is waiting for your fruits to harvest. You know, it's waiting for them to, like, waiting for conception, waiting for this kind kind of romance to happen, but it feels like it never did. It felt like it was not fruitful because the Seven of Discs is in reverse. It felt like you might have been putting, you or this person, but it feels like you. We're waiting for, okay, okay. So this is the scenario, okay. So it feels like this is your person. Your person is the Knight of Cups, who was playing this anxious avoidant game with you. They started off by giving you this cup, right? And it felt like you were this wish fulfillment for them, but they weren't really seeing things clearly because they're riding this fish backwards. Like they're riding this fish in a way where the fish isn't upright, so it feels like they were rushing into things. This is their anxious side. They're like, oh, this person is so beautiful, so amazing, so handsome, so lovely, so smart, and I need to give them my cup right now. And it feels like you were someone who were just kind of waiting. You were waiting for your own life to flourish, your own life to grow. And you're also waiting for this person to step up. But every single time they had the opportunity to step up, they went into this avoidant mode. And they kept all their swords to themselves, afraid to tell you the truth, afraid to step into the known aspects of their heart. So you are unhooking the karmic past that you and this person have dealt with. It feels like you're no longer wanting to be in that cycle of anxious avoidance energy. It feels like you're kind of done with that. And that's the emotional block you're clearing. So this doesn't have to be so recent. This could even be like from a few years back, a few months back, like a few weeks back. It doesn't have to be too recent. It feels like because of this unhooking the past, it feels like it was a chapter in your story that you still revisit, but you are recognizing the truth of the situation. You're recognizing this person for who they are and what they did and how hard it was to be in a situation where it was a situationship, you know? It's hard to be in an energy of having someone basically love bomb you and then you waiting for them to do something concrete and make things official. But every single time that could have happened, they avoid you and they run away. Like that's just a dick move on their part. Yeah. And if you're the one who did this, if you were the one who was playing anxious avoidant with someone else, it feels like you understand the guilt and how heart-wrenching it is for the other person to have to play that game with you. So whatever side you may be on, yeah, it feels like it's either you or this person who kept a lot close to their chest, and because of it, there are things that are now having to process later. But regardless, this connection is like, it feels like a no contact situation anymore. It feels like you might still like have each other's numbers, but it's not like either of you are willing to like reach out, you know? So, what emotional block is my pile number 2's clearing? Okay, I'm gonna get out a different deck for you. What emotional block is my pile 2's clearing? What emotional block is my pile 2's clearing? What emotional block is my pile 2's clearing? What emotional, oh, thank you. Insecurity. Yeah. What emotional block is my pile 2's clearing? What emotional... You also have acceptance and mysticism. So the emotional, sorry, these cards are a little bent. So the emotional block that you're clearing is being able to love yourself and accept yourself. It feels like this person did a number on you, whether you are the Knight of Cups or you are the person in the Seven of Discs. Either way, there was a lot of insecurity that happened because of this relationship, a lot of insecure wounds that came up of, oh, am I good enough? Especially the feeling of being good enough for love. It feels like you are someone who's clearing out your heart chakra, and it feels like you're accepting this new self-love. With this card acceptance, it feels like you are really accepting this guidance and wisdom from your higher self, from your subconscious self, from your inner child, your inner teenager, your inner adult. It feels like you're accepting all parts of yourself. I'm hearing she's my cherry pie. So it feels like, because I'm seeing so many cherries as well. Yeah, she's my cherry pie. Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry pie. That feels like you. It feels like you are recognizing how lovely you are. You might have been journaling. You might have been taking notes. You might have been recording your feelings, or you've been really doing the work in regards to yourself, my pile 2s. It really feels like you've been in a place where you've been focusing on yourself, and you're no longer listening to this energy of doubt. With this devil outside of the person, it feels like you recognize that's not you. You recognize the insecurities, not feeling like you're enough, not feeling like you're good enough for someone else, not feeling like you're lovable. That's not you, because you're loving yourself. You are taking care of yourself. You are putting this magic within yourself. And it feels like you're really protecting yourself at this time. It feels like you're really letting yourself be yourself. Okay. So what emotional blockage is clearing for my pile? Oh, thank you. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse. What emotional blockage? Thank you. You have the Six of Cups. What emotional blockage is clearing for my pile? Oh, thank you. You have the Emperor. What emotional blockage? Oh, thank you. Duality. And just one more card if you can. Thank you. 5 of Cups. So the last parts of your reading, well, actually I want to get some therapist cards as always, but when it comes to the emotional blocks that you're clearing, it feels like you are taking a note out of your childhood self, because whenever I get the 6 of Cups card, it always feels like a child's hand giving to like a more an older hand, like a more adult hand. And then I also always see the growth when it comes to, the growth when it comes to the flower being potted and the stages of growth. So it feels like you're still very wise. It's still like you have a lot of spiritual growth, but you're no longer in a stage where you are just in a passionate energy. I'm hearing just because he's good for your whole doesn't mean he's good for your soul. And yeah, so that just means I think you're focusing more on the fact that you are this emperor, that you can make decisions, and you have a lot of potential. You have a lot of spiritual growth. You are like this worker bee. You are a gemstone with this bee on the plating, and then the gemstone on the head. It feels like you're someone who can balance out a lot of different aspects of yourself. You work hard, you know? You work I'm also hearing she works hard for the money. So it feels like you're someone who can go back into that innocent aspects of yourself, where you can be yourself fully and love yourself fully, and recognize that what's happened in your past is something you're growing from and learning from. Because there's still days and there's still even sleepless nights where you still think about this scenario and think about the past and think about what's happened between you two. But you're recognizing that the duality can exist together. You're recognizing that you can love yourself and accept yourself, but still feel all those feelings from the past, and still recognize those lessons from the past, and still go through those same emotions from the past. And I think the thing that you are emotionally clearing as of right now, the emotional blockage that you're clearing, is being able to give yourself that space, giving yourself that time, giving yourself that acceptance to really feel and love yourself and give yourself that compassion. It feels like you are really into the mystical aspects of growing yourself, and mystical as in more of the unknown parts of yourself that you couldn't look at while this was going on. You're really diving into all that was in order to kind of gain control of yourself again and have stability within your heart again. So yeah, you're clearing that aspect of letting yourself feel, and that is something so many people don't do. You're letting yourself back into your heart space and giving yourself that love and care you needed without needing this other person anymore. And you're recognizing that healing isn't linear. Some days are good, some days are bad, but you still show up for yourself, and that's what's important. Okay, so if I can get some therapist cards for my pile number. My pile number 2s. again, Therapet emotional healing cards. We love Therapet cards. Whatever happens today, you will make it through. So yeah. Again, this is just confirmation of you recognizing things aren't linear. It's your weirdness that makes you wonderful. And really accepting all parts of yourself. Really accepting the good, the bad, and the beautiful. You're recognizing that it's not the person that was in your life that determined you to be someone great. It was yourself. It was you all this time that understood that you were great. Whether you are this person or this person, whether you were the person being anxious avoidant or having to deal with an anxious avoidant, you're recognizing that all the aspects of yourself deserve to be loved, and that before that extension outwards, that partnership is occurring, it has to come from within. And this is one of those readings, there's probably a bunch of readings like this out here that just kind of preach self-love, but it is important. It is important to recognize a lot of parts of yourself and be your own best friend and make peace with yourself. And that's nothing anyone can do but yourself. And you coming into a space of recognizing and taking care of your emotional self, your emotional body, is going to extend your life so much more. It's going to make it that much richer, that much fuller. And it's going to make you someone who can really have that inner peace. And that's something a lot of people out there are looking for. But you're already at that stage of emotional clearing that you have it. And if you don't feel like you have it yet, you're getting there. You're really getting to that place of accepting all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, the beautiful. Yeah, so that's all the messages I have for you today, my dear pile twos. I hope this helped clear and confirm the emotional blockages that you're clearing at this time. And yeah, I love you lots. Divine Source loves you lots. And I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you are listening to this. Take care. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you've chosen this invoking self-realization card, then this is your pile. So, today we're looking at the question of what emotional blocks am I clearing? And you have invoking self-realization. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. I'm hearing self-imposter. So it feels like you might have been going through self-imposter syndrome, where you might have not felt good enough in regards to who you were really, and how much knowledge that you've gotten. It feels like you've been gaslit in the past to believe that your intuition wasn't true, but now you're really healing that part of you. And you're recognizing the people who have lied to you in the past, who have gaslit you in the past, are really broken souls and broken individuals who kind of feed off your energy. And you're recognizing that you are this beautiful butterfly, already capable, already having so much growth, so much transformation in your life. You've gone through a cocooning process to become some gorgeous being, one who knows themselves. And anyone who gaslights you and tells you and lies to you and manipulates you are people who don't know themselves and who are trying to feel superior to you in some way. So it feels like what you're clearing is being able to stand in that emotional respect for yourself. And you're not backing down when someone tries to convince you otherwise. You're not backing down in terms of recognizing that you have been the clearing energy for those people in your life. You have been the key for their unlocking of the self. You've been that mirror for them. You've been that kind of, what's the word? You've been that role model for other people to realize that they can be themselves. Every time you shine your light, you allow others to do the same. That's how it feels like with you in regards to the emotional blockage that you're clearing. And while I was pulling this card, it was a little rougher at first, but once I got into this card, this has been the easiest card for me to channel from so far in the piles. So it felt like you had that stage of having a really rough cocooning process and having a lot of people put their own projections onto you, and you having to just kind of sit with your own energy and recognize who you are, and you never let it change you. You might have had stages in which you have felt discombobulated, where you haven't felt yourself, but it was only for you to recognize that it was their energy that they were projecting onto you, and that you always have a home, a space, a love for yourself. And that you know more than what those other people have been trying to input their knowledge onto you. So my emotional blockage is my pile 3s clearing. Yeah, you have the 5 of Wands. This is just confirmation of, like, you see how this person is not even engaging in the fight? This person is just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, look at the face that this person is making. They're just like, I'm so done with it. I'm so over it. You guys can go fight on your own. And that feels like you. It feels like you're someone who's just like, oh, like, I'm not dealing with it. And do you see how, like, your wand, this wand is the only wand with a leaf growing on it? It's because you are the only one out of the people who are surrounded by you who has that growth, who has that joie de vivre, who has that love for life. Apologies. Yeah, just a confirmation. Like, you have picked up the call in regards to your purpose, your passion, who you are. And you do not engage with those who don't. You do not engage with those who are hurt. You do not engage with those who are trying to like, excuse me, trying to tempt you into something that you're not. You're not even engaging with people who might have well intentions for you, but still don't, like, recognize who you are. You're just happy to be in your own space, your own energy. and not participate in the drama of others. You have this Page of Discs in reverse. And emotional blockages. And you have the World. Yeah, so right now, the World is the last card of the Major Arcana. So you're ending a cycle. And you're recognizing that you aren't this page. You are so much more than just a page. You are the world. You are the main character. You are the center. You are the one that has their heart, that holds the truth, that holds the unknown, but who still has to deal with the very stubborn energies of others. It feels like you are now very, very protected, very solid in yourself. With this wreath around the person, it really feels like you don't even have to worry about other people trying to stronghold and get inside your wreath. People who are trying to impose their own opinions, projections onto you. It feels like not only do you have that coverage of divine source, of divine wisdom around you, but you also know how to shield yourself with this ribbon all around the person. It feels like you are someone who does spiritual practices in regards to clearing your own energy, and that can be by taking baths or showers intentionally, by going for walks, by unsubscribing or unfollowing people, by meditating, by journaling, by doing any physical practice that clears you, by staging as well, even bonfires or going to the beach. It feels like you're someone who knows how to take care of yourself, regardless of other people's wants from you. It feels like you don't allow them to pull on your energy like that. So what emotional blockage? You have the King of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Cups upright. What emotional blockage are my... Thank you. You also have the Hermit in reverse. So this is interesting. It feels like you're someone who I have a clarifier for the Seven of Cups. Thank you. The Page of Swords in reverse. Oh, okay. So, with the Seven of Cups upright, with the Page of Swords in reverse, it feels like you're someone who doesn't emotionally react to things anymore. You do not blurt out everything that you say or what you're thinking. It feels like you've gone through this stage of emotional growth, of recognizing that you are someone who you have the ability to help soothe and heal so many people. And you also have the ability to be by yourself and choose to be alone. But it feels like you have gone out of that cocooning stage, and you recognize that even though people are gonna be like that and they're gonna be fighting and be dramatic, that you don't have to continue to engage in that. It feels like you're someone who can walk about the world in a very loving, in a very soft, in a very strong way, where you're not overly giving to people and you're not extending yourself outwards so that you're not drowning in these emotions. Because they're all paired together, it feels like you don't retreat when things go bad anymore. It feels like you are able to stand your ground and say, hey, yeah, this hurt my feelings, and I didn't like it when you did this and this, or you said this and that. And you know, you're able to kind of stand up for yourself in that way. And you're able to self-soothe and protect yourself by showing up for yourself. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're showing up for yourself. You're no longer just... You're no longer people-pleasing in order to feel loved. It feels like you recognize who you are. You're disengaging with the drama, and you are stepping into a phase of reincorporating yourself within the larger community, within the larger public sphere, within your intimate groups of family, friends, loved ones. Okay. So what are my pile threes? What emotional blockage is my pile threes clearing? Yeah, you have rejection in reverse. Not even surprised. What? Thank you. Yeah, forgiveness. Aww. What emotional blockage? Thank you. You have creation upright. I was gonna check that, and then it flipped over again, so. You also have mysticism, which is interesting. My pile twos had that card. Okay, I'm hearing that's enough, so we will leave it there. Interesting, they're all the same color palette too. So you have rejection in reverse, you have forgiveness upright, you have creation, and then you have mysticism. So what emotional blockage that you're clearing is... Ooh, I'm hearing FOMO. So you are clearing the emotional blockage of fear of missing out. So you are not really caring that you don't have to, you're not really caring if you're rejected from aspects of other people's life, because you know that's not for you. You know that that rejection is divine protection. It's divine intervention. And you're forgiving yourself and forgiving others for the way they've treated you. And yeah, oh my god, that was so creepy at first. I was like, is that people? Yeah, if you can't see, but there are people like surrounding this person. So like, I feel it's like no one can really touch you. Like no one can really like hurt you. Like you have such self-love, self-compassion, so much strength for yourself that like this is you to your inner child. This is you protecting your inner child. You are this rhino, this strong, fierce protector, and yet you're still so soft and so vulnerable and so loving. And it feels like other than being around people who don't understand that, you are putting that back into yourself by creating, by your spiritual practices. It feels like you are using this special moment in time for yourself to really hone into your own soul, period. Your own soul. You're really connecting back to your ancestors, your angels, your higher self, the divine source, your guidance, apologies. It feels like you are really in this space of walking a path where you choose to love yourself again. You choose to be in those practices again. You recognize that you are loved by the divine. You are loved by yourself. In so many ways, you have this inner peace about yourself that so many people crave, that so many people want, and they cannot touch, they cannot have, because they haven't done the same work on themselves. So you're really healing that fear of missing out. You're really hearing that you are good enough. Like, you are more than enough. You have so much more inner peace than so many people out there. And the emotional blockage that you're clearing is one where you're letting yourself be yourself. You're engaging in spiritual energy again. You're engaging in practices that you felt like you couldn't attain before, because before you used to be drowning in this energy of having to take care of so many people. But now, even though you are within a collective space, you can still take hold and feel protected and feel like yourself and feel like you can create and feel like you can connect, because you're connecting now with the right people. What is this emotional clearing bringing for my pile, please? Judgment. Yeah, you have better judgment on what's going on in your life. So you know how to judge people's characters better. You know how to say no when it's necessary. You know when it's time to leave situations. You know when it's time to stay in situations. But you no longer drown in these emotions. Your hands are clear. Your hands are protected. Your hands are to yourself. You are creating music. You are creating art. You are creating your own life where you can dive deep into your own emotions, to your own self, even your past life. Yeah, and you don't have to work so hard for it. You don't have to work so hard for these connections, because the people that are in your life are supposed to be in your life, and those that have left for a reason. They caused way too much drama, and they projected way too much onto someone who was so loving, so compassionate, so kind, so giving, so caring. That's how you felt. You have the card. Sometimes it feels like the horrible feeling will never end. It's important to hold on and wait it out, because it never lasts. You also have everything is scary and you feel vulnerable, but that doesn't mean anything is going to go wrong. Anxious feelings aren't usually indicative of reality. That's a confirmation of the FOMO that was happening. And you have, don't focus on success or failure, just focus on effort, focus on trying. So just showing up for yourself every day, showing up and giving yourself that support, care, love that you need, and not engaging in the drama is really healing the FOMO, the emotional blockage that you've been feeling. So continue to do you, continue to focus on your works of art, your creation of life, on your self-forgiveness, because it's really doing you wonders. It's really giving you this space of being able to co-create and be in a collective while being yourself, and being able to find the community of support that you need. Yeah. Especially ones that you need at this time. Alright, so that's all the messages I have for you, my dear Path 3s. I hope you are having a wonderful day, night, or evening. I hope you take care, and I'm sending you so much love.